People who are asking these questions, they are learning how to program just for the sake of learning how to program. But programming is just a tool.
As your mom used to say, put on a sweater, because it's cold outside, and you're going to catch code. Coding. Where am I going with this?
Are you still there? To delete this message, press 7. To save it in the archives, press 9. To hear more options, press 0.
What are you talking about?
Hey Data Leapers, my name is Andrew. Welcome to Data Leap. This is a channel where I'm talking to students and academics and young professionals who are tired of their industry and want to earn a 6-figure salary in 6 months doing data science. This is a video response to Joma's video where he talks to the camera in a darkly lit room and he tells you to not become a programmer.
Don't be a programmer. Be a problem solver.
He wants you to become a problem solver. You see, it was actually a ploy, a scheme to push you towards this initiative called Call for Coders or whatever it's called.
Why 2018 Call for Code Global Challenge.
Oh, he got 2 million views. Don't be a programmer. You can be much better than that. You can start making problems disappear for the impoverished, for the little man, for everyone in your life that has ever done something good to you. That can be you. So I am not really trying to put on a premise of why you shouldn't code because it's hard or because you're going to have carpal tunnel or you're going to, have to sit in a room and not talk to people all day. I think you shouldn't become a programmer because it is a task that requires passion. And here's where it differentiates between other professional jobs. Because as a data scientist or a software engineer or a data engineer or even a machine learning scientist, a data analyst, anybody who sits down and puts script onto their computer, that person needs to be able to have a good understanding of why exactly they are going to make it to the next day. This person that needs to sit alone and bash their head against an IDE, a Jupyter notebook, a terminal, and try to figure out what is the problem on line 38. This becomes a bigger question of, can you work through the monotony and then find joy, find passion in the creation? Because you are truly a creator. Oftentimes you'll find business consultants, management consultants, or other professionals grind away at creating visualizations for stakeholders. Product managers in tech have sometimes fallen into this trap. It's a constant battle of, hey, do you like this stakeholder? Yes, I do, person who I barely know because all they do is just query stuff for me. Now, on the opposite side, programmers have the opportunity to create. They have the opportunity to engineer. If you're a software engineer, you are building out a product that someone will ultimately use on the other side of their phone, tablet, computer, wherever you are building code. This could be anywhere from using augmented reality to help someone shop for shoes or putting LiDAR sensors on beaches and detecting whether or not there's E. coli for people to safely play and utilize. This is a wide swath of things that you could ultimately build your passion on. But if there's no passion there, then there's no reason to continue becoming a programmer. But I don't think it is all about passion. A lot of people think about it. A lot of people realize that it is also about money, right? Can money make you happy enough to continue working as a programmer? And the biggest question here is, if you're in it for the money, sure. It's a feedback loop that allows us to know that we're doing a good job. If it's a well-paying industry and a valuable asset to the company, and you feel like you're doing worthwhile work, then why not continue working? If your aptitude for this kind of work is purely value-driven, then it might not be for you. Because ultimately it becomes a question of, is this job working you, or are you working this job? If you're here pushing buttons, aggregating data, trying to make sense of a jumble of code, terabytes of data, and then coming out with a few marginal increases on how this specific X, Y, and Z company makes money, and that doesn't actually impress you, well, ultimately it just ends up being another glorified professional role. The amount of creation that you can do as a programmer is severely limited by the amount that you can scale yourself, which is bringing us to our next point. How well do you know how to scale your own life? If you look at something as mundane as brushing your teeth, or look at something as simple as delivering newspapers and think, there's a better way, or I can do this in a way that makes a lot more sense, at least to me, then that's the kind of mindset that would lead you to be able to look at a piece of code and say, I could scale this, or I could make something that automates the work that 3 other analysts or 3 other engineers would have to do manually. If that is the kind of person you are, then you might just end up being a happy programmer. But if the thought of having to solve this jumble of Rubik's Cubes in order to make something more efficient is daunting or just isn't interesting, then maybe programming isn't for you. Finally, I'm going to talk about the fact that it is problem solving, right? Programming is now often the most international language in the world. You have the ability to access so many more opportunities based on the amount of code that you can read, write, and implement. So it's exactly like learning an international language for business, except that this allows you to create. Not a lot of languages allow you to tell a Netflix algorithm what to show next. This is a language not only for the world at large, for other humans, but also for something that is existing by itself. Pure math, pure statistics, and pure code. If you like being in that space where you're able to build out something that exists beyond the very idea of communicating between 2 humans, but in itself, a website that exists by itself, a cloud infrastructure that exists by itself, a beautiful visualization of data that exists by itself. If that brings joy to you, then you might end up being a happy programmer. Yes, programming opens certain doors so that you can move your way up in certain industries. And yes, programming is just innately satisfactory. Being able to create something that will persist and exist beyond the moments that you created it, not only being able to call back to value that you provided another person, but also just inherent value that exists in a vacuum. That is magical, but not everybody thinks in this way. If you want to move into data science, move into a different kind of programming for any reason that is beyond the scope that I've talked about, I want you to go in the comments and tell me if there's a reason why you do programming that I might have missed, a very valid or compelling reason that keeps you in the world of data science, software engineering, and beyond. If this video resonated with you somewhere in the middle or beginning of your data science journey, I would really appreciate a like on this video. If you can subscribe and ring that bell button, I have lots of material coming out very similar in this vein, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for staying to the end, and let's read some comments, why don't we? Until next time, peace.
AIC said, such a fun and informational interview. You have a great energy. Thank you for this. That means a lot, AIC. You rock. Boris Giba says, I imagine Andrew is just one of those people who is just really pleasant to talk to. There is just something about the way he communicates that is so captivating. Love the interview. Boris, we gotta set up a call and find out. Thank you. That means a lot to hear. Geo George says, thank you for the great videos as always, Ken G. I love your content. Andrew is a great guy as well. Please make more project-related videos. I would love that. There's a very interesting financial-based project that Ken and I are working on, and you'll see that soon, George. Thank you for commenting. Shiva says, after watching your videos, I feel like I've found my data science mentor. Shiva, heck yeah, let's get a call going. Ayush says, enjoying your video, great work. Can you please tell me the skill set and projects required to become a data scientist? Great question. I covered the first 21 days in this video of this playlist. I'll keep adding to the playlist and you keep watching. I'm hoping to be able to help you get the right skills to become a data scientist yourself. Wilson Man asked me a question about SVMs versus random forests, just like the video that I've done, 2 of them of course, about random forests and SVMs, and I said it's almost better most situations to pick random forest. It's better for data sets that don't have a lot of pre-processing, and it's better for a combination of categorical and continuous features. Ravi Tanwar was kind enough to say, you gave some of the best explanation out there. put that testimonial in the comments. And you watching right now, go ahead and write down your comment and get featured just like these guys did. Rohan on Discord says, "Hi guys, my name is Rohan. I'm from India. I'm currently pursuing my master's in computer science. I'm very new to data science and I just completed my data science specialization course on Coursera. Found Kenji on YouTube and from there found Andrew from DataLeap. I have joined Kaggle most recently. I'm currently going through the micro courses there. A big thanks to Andrew from DataLeap for sharing the link." Hey, if you want to join our Discord just like Rohan was able to, hit me up in the comments below. Anish said, "Good morning, your latest video on the HR was funny, just saw it." Thank you for that, Anish. Continues to say, "True, but on the contrary, I'm a huge setup geek. I love tech and seeing your video actually inspired me to get that job so that I can have a cool dual monitor with better ergo chairs, etc, etc. Let's all go for the goal here." Thank you, Anish, for saying these kind words. If you have a very particular life experience and you have somehow found a couple of my videos relatable, successful, or something that you would want to see, I really appreciate you putting that in the comments. One day, very soon, YouTube will give me the ability to have a community post, and then I'm going to talk to you a lot more often, hoping that you will start to become a more active commenter, a more active participant in this process of me talking to you and creating that community. But until that day, have a good one. Peace.
Are you still there? To delete this message, press 7. To save it in the archives, press 9. To hear more options, press 0.
What are you talking about?